Ladies and gentlemen, it is the year 2020. This is the first episode for the year for the King's Court, brought to you by myself and my co-host, Mandus Buckle.
2020.
How you been, man?
George, I've been sick as a dog, but still working, man. Still working. Got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So here we are recording on New Year's Day.
Yes, as we should be, because you got to take every single day. You got to maximize.
That's it. Hey, this is the way to start the year, right? We got something to do. We got information to give them. They got stuff they want to hear. We're here to give it to you.
All right, so out the gate, we're doing some awards for last year. We will start off with Athlete of the Year. Let's just start it right on off. Who you got?
I think this is pretty easy. Athlete of the Year goes out to none other than the guy who won. Was this his third Pittsburgh Pro win in a year?
Yeah.
King of Pittsburgh now, and your new men's physique Mr. Olympia for 2019, the one and only Raymond Edmonds. I think it's a slam dunk. There's really nobody else to. Well, I shouldn't say that. Excuse me. His teammate is somebody that you could mention in the same conversation, but with 3 Pittsburgh pros in a row and the new Mr. Olympia, Raymond, Athlete of the Year for me all day long.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree, definitely. He's Mr. Olympia. He's got the 3 Pittsburghs in a row. If you just look at his track record from, being one spot off of the Arnold, he just had a great year, so you can't deny that it's Ray. He's been consistent over the years, kept knocking on the door, kept winning major shows, New York Pros, Pittsburghs, like I said, the Arnold runner-up. He's finally got the Olympia title. Ray all day.
Mr. Consistency. Over the last few years, it was funny. Brandon had won the Olympia the year before. We were calling him Mr. Consistency for a few years, and how ironically enough, not ironically, ironic, the other guy who is Mr. Consistency now, Ray. That division is really tough. At the top, it's as close as any other division. And Ray is showing why he's at the top. He's been first or second at just about every major show the last few years. So if he's not number 1, he's number 2. So there's just no denying him. Congratulations to him. Kudos. Coach of the Year.
Real quick before we leave, I go back to athlete. And you was talking about the division. It shows how there's parity because. Like Jeremy, for example, he has 4 Mr. Olympia titles, right? But he doesn't have any New Yorks. He doesn't have any Pittsburgh. He's never ran the whole season. You got Brandon. He has a Mr. Olympia. He has an Arnold.
He's the only one with both of those.
Yeah, definitely. No New York titles, no Pittsburgh. You got a Ray who has Pittsburgh. He has an Olympia title, no Arnold titles. You got Andre. He's got Arnold titles. He's got a New York title, no Pittsburgh, no Mr. Olympia. So it's just letting you know that it's just not easy, and there's no one dominant person.
Right.
This is, when we look back on it, it'll be everybody was consistently, doing their thing.
Isn't this currently the most competitive division in all of the IFBB?
I think so. Not to take anything away from any other division, because those other divisions are competitive as well.
Yeah.
But I just said what I said, and
right.
That's letting you know.
Right. Which on paper then would show you the most competitive, currently the most competitive division in all of bodybuilding, because everybody in that top 4 or 5 either has an Arnold. You've got Ryan Terry, who's been a top 5, top 6 Olympian for 4 or 5 years, and an Arnold, and has an Arnold title himself.
Yes.
So any one of those guys in any given day can win either one of the 2, 3, or 4 biggest titles in the world. So parity is the word there in the men's physique division. And it's only going to get tougher.
Yeah.
Let's wait on Coach of the Year. Let's go with Rookie of the Year then.
Rookie of the year has to be Corey Morris. Um, I was we did a research. Nobody even comes close. He went to the Olympia. He's won pro shows. He's got a tremendous upshot. He has a frame. He's got the personality. He's got the look. He just has to continue to build on what he's built. We've seen guys have great first years, and then they take that second year and they take a step back. Not to say that they're doing anything wrong. Other new guys come in. Each preference different. They're in a different space in their life. So it's just he needs to build on to make sure he continues to build on. But Corey Morris definitely rookie of the year.
Yeah, Corey Morris, Rookie of the Year, hands down, unanimous decision. Another guy comes from the Junior USAs. He won the overall at Junior USAs. We've talked about it on another show. We've talked about it not too long ago on this show. Here it is again. Junior USA is in the conversation. Not only do I think Corey Morris is was the Rookie of the Year, I think he's gonna have a great second year because Corey Morris had this run all on his own as a rookie. He won shows, he made it to the Olympia all by himself. And then at the end of the year, he teamed up with Omar Ventura,
Yeah.
who is we'll talk about in a minute. So now he's got him behind him moving into year 2, and he's already qualified for the 2020 Olympia. So I think we've got huge things to come from Corey. Corey had great genetics. He's unbelievable physique. He's already in his, I believe Corey's 34, 35. So he's not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
The guy was already developed.
Yeah.
He's already been in the gym for years. And does he have maybe the one of the smallest waists in the entire?
It's small.
So genetically, he's gifted, especially at his height. So it'll be interesting to see just how good this guy can get.
Yeah, like you said, he's in his window. If you look at the top guys right now, that age range, that 33 through 37, whatever, that's the range where guys are, where they're, streaking and having success, in the league. So he's right there. He's got a great coach. Once again, he's just got to continue to show improve, and he should fall. He's got a crazy shoulder to waist ratio.
Unbelievable.
The delt guy.
Genetic freak.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So, Coach of the Year.
I think this is an easy one. We just recorded Bodybuilding by Bodybuilders and talked about an athlete who won the Arnold and won the Olympia. That coach was Coach of the Year. Now you're talking about a guy who had one athlete win the Olympia and a second athlete win the Arnold. And those two athletes were 1 and 2 at the Olympia. That should be a hands down across the board, unanimous decision. Omar Ventura. This is the best year that any coach in the men's physique division has ever had.
Yeah.
And I don't know when the next time anyone's even going to be able to come close to something like this. This was a magical year by him. Fantastic coach. A couple of great athletes. Kudos to him on an accomplishment that I don't think very many people thought could really happen in this day and age. Not only did it happened soundingly.
Yeah. Definitely Omar. He's also got Carlos. Carlos was one spot off the top 5, so he almost had 3 guys. Out of the top 5. We just mentioned he just picked up Corey Morris. So your work speaks for yourself. He's been in the game as long as anybody. He knows his division as well as anybody. He started off with 2 of the better athletes, which with them, was Ray and Dre, and then he's just built, from that, But to have, the current Arnold winner, the current Mr. Olympia, you can't say anything about that.
Unbelievable. Now this is interesting, George, because we've heard people in the past say, well, Hani's good because all the good athletes go to him, or this coach or that coach is only so good because he's got all the good athletes. That's as silly a statement as you could say. Good athletes go to where a good coach is.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and it's like you said, we talked about the last show. To be a good coach, you got to manage personalities.
mm-hmm.
If you look at Ray's personality and Dre's personality, those are two different things. So he's coaching in every aspect, as like we continue to talk about, from being a mentor, like mentally there, actually giving you the work to do just across the board. And we talk about what to look for. These are the things you need to look for. What are you getting from your coach besides the information of what you need to go do? I work with you, everybody knows, and a lot of things that you tell me, we had a discussion the other day, it has nothing to do with when I go work out. It's just my mental thoughts that take me into everything that I'm doing as a whole. And I think that, he does well at that as well.
Absolutely. I think we've got another topic for another show here, George. When we talk about coaches and what they have to offer in general, we've got athlete of the year, we've got rookie of the year, we've got coach of the year. Congratulations to those guys. Another episode should be about coaching and what are some of the different things that coaches bring to the table. How do they affect their athletes? In what capacities do they affect their athletes? Is it just placings? Is it off the stage effects and so on and so forth? So I think that's a whole nother show. If you guys want to hear about it, comment below. Let us know.
Yeah, let's because you know how you got player ratings, like you got games, and you got right now Steph Curry's a 99 on the game, and for coaches, like what about like strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah.
The never really get rated like that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for this guy may be good in one area, but in the communication area they may be lacking. So I think that that's something that we could talk about during that episode. What are the
Absolutely.
weaknesses of coaches?
I mean,
Everybody got to be held accountable. Everybody.
right. You can look at every sport, uh, football, baseball, basketball. We all know there's different coaches that have different strengths and weaknesses. Tex Winter is the creator of the triangle offense.
Yes, true.
Okay. He's the one who was the X's and O's of the Chicago Bulls throughout the 90s.
All right. So another great episode. Athlete of the year, coach of the year, rookie of the year. We had Corey Morris, rookie of the year, athlete of the year was Raymond, and coach of the year is Omar Ventura. Congratulations to all you guys. Keep on doing what you're doing. 2020 is going to be another great year, another competitive year. It's always going to be breakout guys. We're going to be the go-to source right here on Kings Court. Myself and Mandus. Wishing everybody a happy new year. Mandus, what you got?
I think 2019 was phenomenal. I think we see the real growth of the men's physique division. George, you ushered your division onto the big stage at the Olympia for the very first time. Congratulations once again. The men's physique division has not only arrived, but it's here to stay. I believe is the most competitive division in all of the IFBB currently. I believe you've got stars in the division who are starting to now make real waves consistently, who are starting to set a market value for your division. Some of the guys leading that way are yourself, George, Brandon Hendrickson, Ryan Terry. These are guys who are showing you not only success on stage, but off stage. You've got guys who've got massive success on stage. Andre Ferguson, this year's athlete of the year, and Mr. Olympia, Raymond Edmonds. Congratulations to all of you guys and what you've done with your division. A lot of this has been trickled down from the past. Sadiq, Jeremy Buendia, who kind of got the ball rolling for your division. You guys have taken the torch, and it's in really great hands. Can't wait to see what 2020 brings, and we want to bring it all to you guys here at Maximum Muscle Report, here on King's Court. It's the end of 2019 and the beginning of a great 2020. We thank you guys, fans and followers, and we're going to continue to be better.
Yes, definitely. Thanks everybody who watches for all of the feedback and everything that you guys given us. We're gonna continue to do more. Like you said, we're gonna continue to get better. This is the year. Signing off. First episode of King's Court. We'll see you guys next time. Maximum Muscle.